Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or in Jamaica we would say Wagwan everybody, welcome to Cyber with Nats. So today I need your help. I'm having my senior seminar presentation coming up and I need to be able to get a good grade on this because if I don't, that means your girl doesn't graduate. And we can't allow that, right? So with that being said, I am going to share what my research is about. It's about digital literacy in cybersecurity. I'm excited to share what I've learned and the future of my research. So, with that being said, let's get into it.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Today, I'll be presenting on my research entitled The Digital Literacy Paradox Bridging the Gap Between Knowledge and Behavior in Cybersecurity from Passive Completion to AI Driven Instinct. Now, I know it may sound complex, but I can guarantee you it's not that complex. It's mainly examining why human error continues to drive cybersecurity breaches, and it proposes how adaptive AI-based training can help transform cybersecurity education from passive awareness to behavioral instinct. A little bit more about me. For my relevant experiences, I've been an IBM Skills Build Student Ambassador for 2025-2026. And what this does is to help others to become aware of the different industry recognized credentials that they can gain from IBM. I personally was a part of that program where I have a certification in getting started with cybersecurity, getting started with data, and getting started with artificial intelligence. So those are my three credentials. And I was able to use those to get an internship, well, a micro internship from Parker Dewey. And that was on phishing and social engineering attacks with a focus on financial institutions such as Raymond James. And currently, I'm a Fuel Alabama intern where I'm working on leveraging my content creation journey, which is what I'm doing right now. And this is my agenda. This is what I'll be talking about in this video. Digital literacy in cybersecurity is important because human error is a leading cause of cybersecurity breaches worldwide. Now, organizations invest heavily in awareness training programs like the IBM Skills Build, but many of these programs measure completion rates rather than measurable behavior change. Now, with the rise of AI tools, users can now complete modules and quizzes without fully understanding secure practices. And this creates what I call the digital literacy paradox. And this is the gap between knowing cybersecurity concepts and practicing them consistently. Now, the goal is to not just to teach cybersecurity knowledge, but it's also to build cybersecurity instinct. Now, what is cybersecurity and digital literacy? Now, cybersecurity refers to technologies and practices used to protect systems and data from attacks. And digital literacy in cybersecurity goes a bit further. So it's the ability to use digital technologies safely, recognize threats, and respond appropriately to threats. So it's not just a technical skill, it's a behavioral competence. Now, this is a digital safety check. You can go ahead and make a comment if you've used the same password, or if you click on a suspicious link, used public Wi-Fi without a VPN, or yeah, any of these. If you can relate, just place your comments in the comment section. So what that shows is the real gap, right? So users can complete those training, but they still fall for real attacks. And they also measure completion, but not behavior change. And most programs are passive and non-adaptable, so they teach information instead of building secure habits. Now, to conduct this research, I employed secondary data analysis. I used data sets available from the IBM Cost of a Data Breach report, and as well as other cybersecurity statistic data sets like Verizon, IS Partners, etc. And these showcase percentages of breaches attributed to human error, trends in digital literacy, and they were synthesized and visualized through charts, and they showcase human error, digital literacy gaps, and the need for adaptive AI-driven cybersecurity education. So these are some of my results. As you can see, cybersecurity breaches were attributed to human error, and these percentages are really high. So there's 88% in 2022, 74% in 2023, and 2024, that's 68%. So with that being said, we can definitely see how the root causes of data breaches are attributed to human error. And the second chart shows the same thing, but malicious attacks are leading at 51%. However, we can also conclude or deduce from this that these attacks are carried out based on human error as well, because then if there's no human error, then sometimes those malicious attacks are not feasible. And this is another statistic from 2023 summary. So this shows that there's not much digital literacy, and this is attributed to poor password management, cybersecurity awareness, effectiveness, misinformation detection, and AI literacy skills. So for this reason, we can tell that digital literacy is extremely important and it should be looked at more carefully. So human error is one of the number one security risks, and traditional training alone is not fixing the problem with digital literacy. So most cyber incidents stem from human behavior, and these are commonly related to phishing clicks, weak or reused passwords, ignored warning signs, misconfigurations, and these show that it's not just a behavioral failure, it's a psychological one, and it's not just for technology. Now, this is an example of a phishing email that was sent to me. Yeah, so this, I use my real world example. You can go ahead and place your comments in the comment section as well if you would respond to this. If you saw it, like if you were under pressure, if you were in a work environment and you were loaded with work, like would you think for a second to actually respond to this email? At first, I was going to respond, but then I saw that instant reply, and I'm like, this showcases a cyber threat. So I took the necessary steps, and it was solved because I didn't respond to it. So what people do is to assume that training solves problem, right? And most organizations, they rely on annual training and compliance-based certifications. Similar to school training, we have the IBM Skills Build program, and students complete the badges. And if people understand cyber risks, they will act securely, right? But the flaw is knowledge doesn't automatically assume that you know it, so execute it. so it doesn't automatically lead to behavior change. The solution that I'm proposing is to improve digital literacy to target that 26% error rate, and this would help employees or others, like students, to spot malicious attempts like the one I showed earlier, and it would help to resolve those phishing emails faster and save your company a lot of money. And for the future of my research, I want to incorporate adaptive AI cybersecurity training, which includes personalized training for each user. It monitors real-time behavior. It generates simulation instead of asking questions and answering questions. And it's also adaptive. It will ensure that users can actually work based on their weaknesses. And what it does is to reinforce secure decision making. So what adaptive AI training does differently? So instead of giving answers, what it will do is to observe user behavior, detect weaknesses, adapt training in real time, and it reinforces correct decision-making patterns. For example, like if you click on phishing emails, it will give harder simulations based on that. And if you have weak passwords, then it will give you more password-focused training. And I believe that this approach is really important. So this is CyberShield, my adaptive AI trainer that I utilize AI to build just to show as a model. So what it does is to give you a dashboard, training materials, and an AI mentor. So you can go ahead and type anything you like to know. I chose to do human error, and it will generate a response. And if you go back to the dashboard, then you can track your progress and it gives you real-time simulation. So I feel like this approach is way better than just doing a course and getting the certification. So it's real life training. And this will help to build digital literacy because as you're learning, you're also able to talk to your mentor, your AI mentor, to say, okay, what is this? So I think this is a great example. And this is just an example of what it does. In conclusion, the digital literacy paradox reveals a critical gap between knowing cybersecurity concepts and practicing secure behavior. To close this gap, training must evolve from passive completion models to adaptive AI-driven systems that build real-world cybersecurity instinct. The future of cybersecurity is not just smarter technology, it is smarter human training. So, with that being said, I want to thank you all for listening to my presentation. As I said before, you are helping me to prepare for my presentation that's upcoming. So, wish me all the best and see you next time.